This episode includes discussion of challenges around growing up in a difficult environment and transitioning. Please take care while watching or listening.
Welcome to Platform F. I'm with Andrea today. Hi, Andrea.
Hello, Danny.
Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Of course. You're very welcome.
Andrea, did you grow up in Victoria?
I did, yeah. I was born in Carlton and then grew up in the eastern suburbs. It was Ringwood and things like that. And then when I was 9 years old, I moved to Geelong, and then I stayed there till I was about 18. And then from there, I kind of just drifted around Australia. Yeah.
And now you are involved with Melbourne Leather.
I am, yes.
How did that
Melbourne
start? I would
Leather.
like to know.
So what happened was I was having a terrible time, and decided, you know what, I need some friends. So I found an event that was to do with trans people. So I went there and I met my partner. And then from there, things kind of evolved and we got a bit closer and, all those dating things. And then she invited me to Melbourne Leather event, and I was a little bit skeptical, but got convinced. And I think the only reason why I was skeptical is because I didn't own any leather. But I was assured that it's fine. You don't need to have leather to go to a leather event all the time. You can go there and make sure it's okay and it's what you like. And then from there, slowly accumulate leather and build your collection. But anyway, I went there, and then from there, I really loved the crowd. Very friendly people, very happy people, very accepting people. And I introduced myself to Brock from Melbourne Leather. And then from there, I got introduced to Johnny from Melbourne Leather. And I told him about my career as a graphic designer and a photographer and all these things. And now I'm involved on the committee and helping things move along, and it's been a fantastic journey.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Very loving people, very happy people, very inclusive people, and to be honest, they've basically become my family.
And that's how we got to know each other as well,
It
from
is.
Melbourne Leather events.
It is, yes. I think from memory, it was from
one of the socials at DDs.
one of the competitions.
Yeah, I think
that
DDs
were
one of the
around.
events. Yeah.
One of the events.
I think one of the socials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrea, before you got into Melbourne Leather, how was the life growing up around Victoria? And then
life was pretty hard growing up. It was a bit difficult. There was a lot of macho attitudes. There was a lot of narcissism there. There was a lot of social stigma. There was a lot of boys don't cry, and if boys do cry, they get punished kind of attitudes. And there was very strict attitudes. Yeah.
And did things become easier after that?
They become easier once the internet come along, and I found about what transgender was, and I knew that there were people out there that were the same as me. I wasn't strange. I wasn't weird. I knew that there were people there the same as me, but at that particular time, I couldn't become the true me. Yeah.
How did you connect with these people over the years, and how was that journey?
I went into denial for a long time and was just like, no, that's wrong. That's false. That's not true. And then from there, I started cross-dressing secretly. And then I become brave enough to tell one or two of my partners in the sort of last of my relationships. And then it was the final relationship breakdown that I said, you know what? Nah, I can't keep going anymore. I've got to transition. And that's what I did. I ended up back in Melbourne. Yeah.
And now you are creating spaces for a lot of other people in the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. So now there's spaces and safety. And if I see someone that's out, I'll always discreetly beeline towards that people and give them a safe attitude to be able to talk to. And obviously I can't make their mind up for them. I let them talk to me. And if they do talk to me, then I let them know about the safe places, and not only with Melbourne Leather, but other places, that are safe.
Yeah.
They're safe. Whether you want to cross dress or whether you want to just use your preferred name, there's always a safe place, and always a safe place when you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find it the community in Melbourne, or the community that you are around, that they're more accepting?
I find that Melbourne's very accepting. There's other places that I've been in Australia that are very accepting as well. You know, but for me personally, with my journey, I found Melbourne to be my real safe place. But that's just my personal journey, and that stems from the comments and the places that I've introduced myself into. That's made me feel safe.
Yeah. Andrea, how did you overcome any challenges that you faced when you were living in Victoria?
So my way of overcoming was to isolate. And now I recognize that I probably shouldn't have isolated. I should have found support, because there is a lot of support in Melbourne. So I should have found that support. But I just made a decision one day. I was sitting there doing my artwork, and I felt like, nah, I don't want to be in my room no more. I want to go night clubbing. So I went on to social media and I found an event that was happening, and I just said, you know what, this is it. I got to make friends. And from there, I found some very supportive people that belong to the community, and I just wasn't shy. I just went and did it, and just said, you know what, this is it. What's the worst that can happen? I'm just going to go and do it, and I did.
And now you are here with, knowing all these people
Yeah.
and doing giving things back to the community.
Yep. I'm fairly well known in the community, especially in the sort of local nightclubs. A lot of the people know me, and I walk into a venue and I just get love. That's all I get. I get
Yeah.
love. because I've put myself out there and I've let people know that, hey, I'm Andrea and I just want to live me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
from there, it's just move forward. Yeah.
Now, you might be meeting a lot of people who are new to these events or places that you are in, or trying to meet or try to meet people for the first time, or
Yeah.
try to build their community for the first time.
Yeah.
What sort of advice do you have for a new person coming into our community?
The number one piece of advice that I have is find a group or a club or somebody that understands, and then go there. And then when you go there, just go and play a game of pool with someone. Go out into that area and just talk to people, because there's probably an 80%, 90% chance you're going to be accepted. And then from there, friendships and connections build. And all of a sudden, you leave that place feeling really, really good that you met people. And even if no connections happen, doesn't matter. You still feel really, really good that you've gone there and you've gone out as who you are or who you want to be, or even getting ready to go out to be who you want to be, and enjoy life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that for the first time, though, right?
It is.
I've had those moments trying to
Yeah.
go into a new venue or new events, going to a group that I didn't know anyone. The first time was really hard, but when
Yeah.
you do that, the second time is little easier and the third time is much easier. So,
I think so as well. And you know what? The first time for me, I think I was shaking. I was shaking while I was on the train or the taxi or whatever it was. I can't remember now. It's been a long time. But I was shaking. But you know what? I just said to myself, well, if I don't do this, I'm just going to keep living as I am. But if I go there, even if I stay for 10 minutes, that's one step forward.
Yeah.
It's just one step. And there's multiple steps. But you take that first step. And once you take the first step, then the second and third and 20th and 50th and 100th is a lot easier than that number one step. It's almost like if you're on a 10-meter platform jumping into water, the first time you do it is really, really hard. And, you might back out or whatever. But the next time you do it, it's a bit easier. And the next time you do it, it's even easier. And then the next time you do it, you're going to really enjoy it. And you're going to possibly even crave it, and it's the same thing with community.
Andrea, I know you are into arts, photography, a lot of things, and you are a graphic designer as well.
Yeah.
I want to know about that a little bit more, but also, does that help you to connect with people?
It does. So pre-transition, I worked as a panel beater. Very male dominant sort of trade. I was building hot rods. And then when I transitioned, I made the choice that I'll leave that career and I'll go and start a new career. And that was about leaving my old life behind pre-transition and moving forward in my transition. So it all started with my best friend went and seen a Picasso exhibition. And then my friend said to me, oh, I reckon you could do art. you've got a creative mind, you play guitar, you've got all those creative aspects to you. So from there, I just sort of let it sit a bit because I'm just one of those people that let things sit. And then I was walking through Kmart in Burke Street, and I seen a watercolor pad and acrylic paint, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? So I brought it, and it had one paintbrush. I think it had 8 acrylic paints, and then I thought, oh, this is cool. So I kind of just put the paints on there and explored and just played with it. And I thought, hey, this was really cool. I really enjoyed that. So I went onto YouTube and I found a tutorial
Mm.
about art. And it was teaching you how to paint and how to paint in detail. And I've always been fascinated with people's faces, the way the eyes reflect the soul, and
Mm.
how facial expressions mean certain things, but sometimes they lie and they mean other things. And I thought, you know what, I want to do portraits. So I started painting. And I started painting portraits and learning how to do it off the internet. And I'm like, you know what, art is a really, really cool career, but I feel like it might be a little bit difficult to just go from a panel beater to an artist and make enough money to live.
Mm.
So I thought, okay, well, what's a career that I can combine art plus make money
Mm.
and do a uni course on?
Mm.
So I thought, you know what, graphic design's really cool. I'm a musician. I love band posters. I'm constantly taking photos of band posters all the time. So I thought, you know what, I'll be a graphic designer. So I went to uni and I become a graphic designer. And then from there, I thought, you know what, in graphic design with a lot of product um, advertising, there needs to be photos of the product. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll start taking some photos.
Mm.
And my partner had a really good camera
Mm.
that I could start with. So I was very fortunate.
Mm.
I had the camera there, sitting there, looking at me.
Mm.
So I decided, okay, I'll start doing photography. So again, I taught myself how to do photography. Um, and now that's what I do. I'm a photographer, a graphic designer, and a fine artist.
And through that, you meet people, you connect with a lot of people.
I did, yeah. And most of that happened through Melbourne Leather.
Mm.
And then from Melbourne Leather, there's been other connections that have moved forwards. And like I was saying before, it's just about putting yourself out there. I put myself out there to Melbourne Leather,
Yeah.
and now things are just flowing,
Yeah.
and things are moving forwards. Yeah.
You were in a different profession, and, you know, in life, it seems like it's different to what you have right now.
Yeah.
And also, I'm realizing that you have all these people around you and you're doing a lot of things to the community. How do you feel about having all these people around you?
It was very difficult at the start. Um, I felt, oh wow, you know, there's all these people that I know, and I felt very overwhelmed.
Hmm.
But then I learnt to see the actual love that come from there. And now everyone I meet is so happy to see me,
Hmm.
and I'm happy to see them. There's a big hug, and there's a chat, and there's that genuine love. Hey,
Yeah.
Andrea, you're here. We're happy that you're here.
When you say it was difficult at the beginning, was it because you were not used to it?
Yeah, I wasn't used to it. Pre-transition, I had probably about 3 people in my life, and that was it. And I always stayed like that. And every time things got a little bit hard, I'd disappear camping for weeks at a time, and I'd just get away from it. But now that I'm living my true self, I've learnt to realise, hey, no, people aren't bad to be around. Like
People are not that bad.
it was a little bit of a shock, but I'm living my true self now,
Yeah.
and I'm able to be who I want to be,
Yeah.
and that there in turn has, I guess, made me want to be in society a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were transitioning, did you think that you will get all this love and affection and everything that you have right now? Did you think that you will get it, or you didn't have any expectations?
No, I didn't think I'd get it. I figured life was just going to be the same. I'd transition, and that was pretty much it. I knew deep inside my heart that I'd be happier. I knew I'd be happier. I'd be a happier person. There wouldn't
Yeah.
be, depression and all these other feelings that come with it, and emotions and, illnesses and things like that. But now life's perfect. Yeah. It's just, it's gone forward into something extremely beautiful. And really all it come from was me just making that decision.
Yeah. And
No, I want some friends, and I took that first step and found some friends.
and you wanted to be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you feel like, from what I'm hearing, you feel like you are truly yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe people see that and want to share all the love because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm truly happy, and I think people see that truly happy person. They see a peaceful person, and they it's like a magnet. They're drawn to you,
Yeah.
you know. It's yeah.
Yeah, I also feel we attract the energy that we put out to the universe.
We do. I think so. And through my journey, I decided, I want to study psychology. So I went and done that. While I was working as a panel beater, I went and studied psychology. I didn't finish the degree, but I got like 2 years and 9 months through it. And then from there, it led me to other areas of study, just personally. Not uni based, but just personally. And what it shows is that your heart emits a certain frequency, and you attract that frequency. So the more positive you are, the better the frequency. And then you start attracting that better frequency towards you.
It seems like you've done a lot of homework or
Yeah.
you've done a lot
Yeah.
of work for yourself.
Yes.
So you feel positive, or you have
Yeah.
these thoughts that you have at the moment. So it seems like we have to do some self work to get to that point, isn't it? Because naturally, otherwise, sometimes we don't feel that motivated or positive
Yeah.
because life is shit sometimes.
Yeah, it is pretty shit sometimes. My journey was that I wasn't going to accept. There was no way that I could accept not being happy in life. So I done every single possible thing that I could to bring positives to my life, to bring happiness to my life. And I've spent so many hours going through documentaries, reading books, going into bookshops and just sitting there reading books. Sometimes I couldn't afford to buy the books, so I just go to the local library and I sit there and read the books.
Yeah.
There was internet articles that I've read, and I've always tried to stick to the journals rather than just articles because they're a little bit more truthful. And I've just done every possible thing that I possibly could think of to try and do self-help.
Hmm.
And then from there, I've even researched how do I do self-help to learn how to help myself.
Yeah,
Because I,
a lot of people forget about libraries these days. There's something called libraries. Go and find
yeah,
out.
they're strange.
So I remember growing up in Sri Lanka. I am from a family who reads a lot. We had a lot of books at home, but from the age of like 5, 6, I remember I was used to going to the public library
Yeah,
and looking at books. And I remember until I was like, I don't know, 18, 19, 20 years, I used to go to the library and get 2 books for a fortnight.
wow.
So started reading a lot at that time. Things change after that. I think like, when you
Yeah,
get internet and mobile phones and this and that, the life changed.
yeah,
So the reading habit definitely changed. But I remember going to libraries and doing stuff. We didn't have money to buy all the books or find some stuff you can't buy, or there was no concept of online books or anything at that time.
yeah,
So it was just the
yeah,
physical old books.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's how I learned how to play guitar,
Tell me about
from
more.
old books.
Yeah.
My dad started teaching me when I was about 5 years old. And then I sort of learnt from him a little bit. But my days were spent in the school library, sitting there reading and smelling actual physical books and learning how to play guitar from there,
Yeah.
because like yourself, as you said, growing up, we didn't have YouTube and we didn't have internet articles. And even when we did have internet, it was so expensive that most families couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So the only option was to go to the library. And that's how I learnt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this music helps you to um, relax, or does it help
Yeah.
day to day life?
Music's everything. Music's everything to me, yeah.
How does that help?
It just soothes me. It soothes every single part of me. Whether it's listening to music or playing music, it always soothes me. And I play guitar every day.
Andrea, you mentioned a lovely story to me earlier when we were having a chat about you and your dad playing guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I was about 5 years old, he played guitar, and then I showed a little bit of interest. So he decided to start teaching me how to play. And even now, what is it? 42, 35, is it? Maybe 36 years ago.
30 something, you don't need to go to
30 something,
numbers.
he started, even now, whenever he comes round, we're always involved in the guitar somewhere. So it could be that he's made a new song and we're sitting there listening to some music and it's reminded him of something similar that he played, whether it's like a folk or country or blues or something like that. And he'll just grab the guitar and go, "Oh, I want to show you something." So he'll get it off my stand and he'll have a play. And then because I got multiple guitars, I'll be like, "Oh, that sounds really cool. Like, what about this?" And then all of a sudden, without even thinking about it, it ends up in a big jam session
Yeah.
that lasts maybe half an hour or whatever. And then we just decide to look at a film clip that's inspired us to look at. And then from there, it kind of leads through and can just end up in another spontaneous jam. Yeah.
So you were playing guitar with your dad when you were younger, and you're doing the same now. Is there any change or any different experiences from now and then?
Um. So we've been jamming obviously since I was 5, and it's something we've always done in our life, and we've always loved it, and we always have a great laugh. Since transitioning, the only thing that's really changed is the way I dress. He's been very accepting, and even to the point that I decided to tell him through SMS, and I asked him not to call me, but to talk about it through SMS. And his point of view was, why didn't you just tell me? Why? What's the big deal?
Mm.
Like, why didn't you just show up as who you are? Like, now I know that not everyone's like that. I'm very fortunate to be like that. And there's other members of the family that haven't been so accepting, but I've learned how to deal with that on my personal journey, and that goes back to the self-help that I did, my self-work. And the self-work is the important part. You've got to do the self-work, because it's not something that you know
Yeah.
with that kind of news. And I think that to some points that people go through grief,
Mm.
so they might not be accepting because they're grieving for the old person.
Mm.
And then they realize that the old person's still there.
Mm.
The old person's still there. They dress differently, they live different lifestyle, and they become who they truly are. And then from there, it takes a bit of time, but often it can be accepted, you know.
Thank you for sharing that story. That's a beautiful story, and I hope you'll get to enjoy more moments like that with everyone you love.
Thank you. Yeah.
Andrea, when you think of this love and the community that you have around you now, what three things comes to your mind?
I feel safe because most of the places I go to, I know somebody there. So I can go to one of my regular nightclubs and there might be 20 people there, or there might be one person there. And even if there's not one person there, I'll probably see them walking along the road anyway.
Mm.
So I feel a safety that I'm not in a place by myself, and there's always someone there. There's always someone watching me in a good way, of course, and looking out for me.
Mm.
The safety of just knowing somebody is close.
Mm.
Friendships. So again, no matter where I go, there's always people there who are very close friends to me. And I've got someone to hang around with, someone to connect with. Most of the time, me and my partner go out together, and we're always fascinated by where we go and who we know. I went to Sydney to the Mardi Gras,
Mm.
and I knew someone there
Mm.
from Melbourne. You know,
Yeah.
it was unbelievable to be able to be drawn and connect with somebody that was from Melbourne. That's one of our very, very good close friends who we didn't even know was going to be there. So another one would be acceptance, because everywhere I go, they know me as Andrea. They don't know me as my pre-transition. They know about my pre-transition, but they don't know me as pre-transition, and they're very accepting with me in the community. And even people that knew me transition are still very accepting of who I am and who I've come out as my true self to be. Yeah.
Andrea, thank you so much for talking to me today. And wish you all the best with all the things that you do, all your art and community work around Melbourne Leather, or any other things that you're going to do in future as well. And I definitely see you outside, out there.
Yeah.
And hang out
I'm sure
more.
we'll bump into each
Yeah.
other.
Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
Awesome. Done.